The following story is about the Green Children of Woolpit, which reads like a typical English fairy tale. The event supposedly happened hundreds of years ago, in a time when fact and mythology may have become intermingled. Sometime in the 12th century, a strange event happened in the village of Woolpit, near Bury St Edmunds in Suffolk, in southeast England. It was harvest time, and the villagers were busy working in the fields. All of a sudden, two young children emerged from ditches that had originally been dug to trap wolves. They were also known as wolf pits, which is where the name of their village Woolpit came from. When the two young children, a boy and a girl, suddenly appeared to the workers, they were shocked to find that their skin had a green tinge, and their clothing was not only made from an unusual material, but also had a strange colour. The workers looked on as the children appeared to wander aimlessly around, as if lost, and after a few minutes approached the young waifs and escorted them to the village. They found that the children spoke an unusual language and could not speak or understand the local English dialect. They were then taken to the home of a local landowner called Sir Richard de Carn, who lived only a few miles away in Wicks. When they arrived at his home, they were distressed and refused to eat the bread and any other food that they were offered. The following few days the children refused to eat, and the villagers became concerned about their health. Then one of the villagers offered them some raw beans, which the villagers had recently gathered, which the children then ate. They ate the beans until they slowly got used to the taste of bread. The girl was slightly older than the boy, and over the next few months she slowly adjusted to her new surroundings, but unfortunately the younger boy became more and more depressed, where his health deteriorated to such an extent that he passed away. Whether it was her new diet or that she was now living in a completely new environment from that which she came, the young girl's skin lost its green hue and she developed into a healthy young lady. Over the years, she learned to speak English fluently and eventually married a man from King's Lynn in the nearby county of Norfolk. It is claimed that the man she married was a senior ambassador of Henry II, and she took the name of Agnes Barr. The young woman was questioned about her origins, but after many years of living her new life, much of her memory of her previous life had become vague. However, she said that the young boy was her brother, and that they had come from the land of St. Martin, a subterranean world. The environment there was perpetually twilight, and the sun never shone. All of the inhabitants' skin was green, as theirs once was. She said she could not locate her homeland, but added that where they lived, there existed another luminous land that could be seen across a large river, separating it from theirs. She does remember the day they went missing, where they were looking after their family's herd in the field, and one of the flock had wandered into a nearby cave. Whilst in the cave, they could hear the distant sound of bells ringing, and decided to follow the enchanting sounds. They had to walk through darkness until they were suddenly blinded by glaring sunlight. Initially they laid down in a total daze until they were startled by the noise of reapers working in the fields. They tried to run away, but were unable to locate the entrance to the cave and were eventually caught, and the rest is history. So is there any truth to this unusual episode in English history? And is there any proof that such an event had actually taken place? There is an account given in Historia Rerum Anglicarum, or the History of England, in 1189, which is based on reports from a number of trustworthy sources. One of them was Rolf of Coggeshall, who was an English chronicler and monk at Coggeshall Abbey in nearby Essex, and wrote in the 12th century about the sudden and unexplained arrival in the village of two green children during one summer in the 12th century. Rolf's account incorporates information from Sir Richard de Carn of Wicks, who reportedly gave the green children refuge in his manor north of Woolpit. There are also theories that this other world that the girl talked about could be subterranean, and that the green children were from another civilization, a world beneath the earth. Another interesting theory could be that they had stepped out of another dimension. However, Turning away from any paranormal explanations, the children's sudden appearance may have some basis of truth that may be more realistic. They could have been left to die in the woods after being poisoned with arsenic by a wicked parent or relative, and the arsenic could explain their green tinge colour. The children then fled from the woods, which could have been the nearby Thetford forest, and then encountered the people working in the fields. Yet another theory is that the very young children strayed from their forest village, spoke very little, and did not know their home address. They possibly suffered from chlorosis, which is a deficiency disease that gives the skin a greenish tint, hence the term green sickness, and when they were fed a better diet, the green tinge disappeared.